Well, Emily, Lane, it is such a privilege to stand with you both underneath this chuppah. Your story reminds me of one of the Torah's great love stories, that between Jacob and Rachel, which we'll read in a few weeks in the Torah reading cycle, because they met early in their lives, and though their path to each other was long and winding, filled with detours and waiting, they eventually came together to build a life, a partnership, a home, a family, and a future. The Torah says that Jacob worked 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed to him but a few days because of his love for her. It's got to be the most romantic line in our Torah. And I know you two had very full lives between when you met in 1998 and when you reconnected in 2021, but your connection hadn't faded over time. It was like no time had elapsed at all, as you both noticed the ripeness of your friendship to grow into something more upon your reconnection. So you met at work in 1998 and became friends, both of you moving through your own difficult seasons. And the time between that spark of friendship and a message on LinkedIn, more than 2 decades later, makes Jacob's wait for Rachel in the fields pale in comparison. You found each other again. Neither of you expected it. Dating wasn't even on Lane's radar. But you went out as friends, and it turned into something more. Something steady and joyful, something that made sense right away. As Lane shared in one of our meetings, and again in his vows, it could have only been you, Emily. When you moved in together, it didn't feel like a risk or a stretch. Even coming from different backgrounds, your moving in felt natural, organic, and like home. Lane, you said that Emily is the kindest, most thoughtful, most generous person you've ever known. And Emily, you've said that Lane makes you feel safe and grounded. That's part of why your house felt comfortable enough to become a shared home instantly and fully. And beyond just finding each other again, you've built something rooted and expansive. You've merged your lives, your families, your values. Lane, your son Jacob, and Emily have connected deeply, and I can say that I really cherish those moments during Friday evening services, looking out at the congregation and seeing you three sitting together. In a reflection Emily wrote a little while back, that Lane, you shared a couple excerpts from. Emily, you wrote, "The advantages of being in a stable, loving relationship are many and include the comfort and freedom to make thoughtful and rational decisions in a supportive space. For my partner, being Jewish is front and center, the North Star of his existence on this earth, and he wears it with pride, joy, and confidence. Witnessing this orientation over the course of our relationship has provided me with a sense of admiration and wonder, and I stand in solidarity with his views of the world as seen through the lens of his Jewish identity." And now here you are, both standing with one another, literally and figuratively, looking out together at the world and at each other through the lens of both of your Jewish identities, marrying one another through Jewish ritual, standing beneath this Jewish wedding canopy. And that's what marriage at its best really looks like. It's what sacred covenant looks like. Witnessing each other, standing with one another, and growing together, becoming more fully yourselves through the relationship that you share. You are also both a vital presence here at North Shore Congregation Israel, regulars at services and at Feed the Homeless, at various gatherings and events. Your love is a gift to each other, and it's a gift to all of us here at the synagogue who are uplifted by your presence and relationship. So, under this chuppah, held up by talitot from your families and friends, surrounded by people who love you, we mark the holiness of this moment. Not everyone gets to choose love again or stays open to these possibilities, but it is such a special blessing that you both did. May your marriage continue to be a shelter of peace. May you keep choosing each other and keep walking through life together with gratitude and tenderness, with the deep joy of having found your person at just the right time. Mazel tov to you both. And we're going to continue with the Sheva